Welcome to the Marketing Execution Podcast. This is the show for tech founders and leaders building B2B products and technologies. We show you how to go further, faster to get the business results you need.
From strategies to big exec dreams, catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
I remember being stunned to learn that nearly 90% of B2B products fail to transition from early adopters to the mainstream market. Yet the strategies to succeed exist and are well understood. Today we jump into Geoffrey Moore's book, Crossing the Chasm, which focuses on how tech firms can navigate the gap between early and mainstream adoption. You will discover a proven framework for achieving market leadership, including strategically selecting a niche, assembling a complete product solution, and optimizing your distribution channels. We will cover the concrete steps to ensure your product gains traction and builds a reputation that resonates with your target audience, particularly the early majority. Drawing from my experience scaling tech startups and with the help of Crossing the Chasm, this episode unpacks actionable insights that drive measurable results. Finally, subscribe to the Marketing Execution Podcast for weekly strategies and join our community of tech founders and B2B SaaS executives looking to elevate their marketing and go-to-market game. Are you ready? Let's go. Tim and Lisa are here to guide us across the chasm.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. This time we're tackling Crossing the Chasm. You guys sent in some awesome excerpts from the book and its short-form summary, and it's clear you're all about launching winning products, especially in the tech world. So that's exactly what we're going to dig into today.
It's such a fascinating topic, isn't it?
Absolutely. So by the end of this deep dive, we're going to unpack all those key insights from Geoffrey Moore's work and hopefully give you guys a much clearer path forward.
Yeah, what I love about his work is that he doesn't just talk theory, he gives you this practical roadmap. It's like a battle plan to go from those early innovation stages and actually break through to that mainstream market.
Okay, so let's get tactical then, battle plan time. Moore kicks things off with this thing called the Technology Adoption Lifecycle.
Right, the TALC.
TELC, exactly. And I know what you're thinking, another acronym, right?
Yeah.
But trust me on this one, it's huge. Picture a bell curve. You know that visual they always use in statistics? Well, imagine that, but it's mapping out how different people adopt new tech. And spoiler alert, it's not a smooth ride.
Not at all, and that's where things get interesting. You see, Moore breaks the market into 5, you could call them categories.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me, the 5 categories.
All right, you've got your innovators.
The trendsetters, the ones who are first in line for everything.
Exactly. They live for that new stuff, glitches, workarounds. They don't even care. They just want to be on that cutting edge.
Yeah, they're the ones who keep us all on our toes, always pushing the limits.
Totally. Then you've got your early adopters. You might even fall into this category yourself.
Oh, I'm sure I'm right in there somewhere.
They're the ones who see the potential of a new technology early on, but they also want to see how it can be useful, how it can solve a problem.
So not just shiny object syndrome, they're looking for that substance too.
Absolutely. They're thinking, how can this give me an edge, make my life easier? They're practical visionaries, you could say.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting to me, right? Because between those early groups, the innovators, the early adopters, and the rest of the market, there's this gap, this chasm Moore talks about.
This is where things get tricky. The chasm, it's the make or break point for so many products because the early majority, those are the folks on the other side and they think differently.
They're not early adopters. They're not guinea pigs.
Right. They want proof. They're looking for reliable, proven solutions. They want to see those testimonials, read the reviews.
They want to know that this new tech isn't going to be a headache, that it actually delivers on its promises.
Exactly. They need that social proof, that reassurance that this thing is worth their time and money.
Okay, so you've got the early market on one side.
Think of it like England.
Okay, England?
Then you've got this chasm, that's the English channel separating you from mainland Europe. You're trying to get your product to the mainstream market, which is more like Normandy Beach on D-Day. You need a whole new strategy to get across that water.
Intense, I like it. So if the chasm is the English channel, then getting stuck in the chasm, well, that's basically like getting stuck in the middle of the ocean, right?
Pretty much, yeah. You're exposed, competitors see you floundering, your investors start to get nervous, the pressure is definitely on.
So that's our challenge, this chasm that we need to cross to really make it. But the cool thing is, Moore actually gives us a battle plan, like a 4-step process to get us across.
Exactly.
So let's dive into that. What's step 1?
Step 1 is all about focus, laser focus. It's called choosing your beachhead. Instead of trying to please everyone, you really hone in on a specific niche within that early majority, and that becomes your beachhead, where you can get a foothold, show some serious wins.
So it's like saying, instead of going after all weld inspection, you go for nuclear submarine pipe joints.
Exactly.
Smaller market, much bigger stakes.
Higher stakes, definitely. And those folks, they're much more likely to become your champions because you've solved their specific problem.
So you're building that street cred,
Yes.
that credibility that gets the rest of the early majority paying attention.
Absolutely. They see that success and they think, okay, maybe this is something I need to look into too.
Okay, love it. Focus is key. What's next?
All right, step 2, this is where it gets kind of visual, and we're talking about assembling the whole product. Picture a donut.
Donuts? I'm listening.
Right, so the center of the donut, that's your core technology, the heart of your innovation. But the whole donut, the ring around it, that's the whole product. All the things your customer needs to actually use it successfully. The services, the extra products, the infrastructure. It's an ecosystem.
It's like thinking about a smartphone. You have the phone itself, but then you need the data plan, the apps, the charger, all of that.
Perfect example. And for the early majority, this whole product is just as crucial as that core tech, maybe even more so. They want things to just work.
Makes sense. They're not tinkerers. They want a seamless experience.
Exactly. They're busy people. They don't have time for workarounds.
Okay, so we've zeroed in on our beachhead. We've got our whole product ready to roll out. What's step 3?
Step 3 is about staking your claim.
I like it.
This is claiming your territory. It's bigger than just marketing. It's about positioning, owning that space in the customer's mind. You have to nail your value proposition, make it crystal clear why you're different, why you're better than the competition.
So none of this we're faster, we're cheaper stuff. It's about, like, we're the only ones who can guarantee weld integrity in nuclear submarines.
Right.
That kind of specific.
Exactly. And you back it up with proof. Customer stories, awards, partnerships you're building, that trust that the early majority needs. It's like you're planting your flag and saying, this is our domain. We are the experts here.
Love it. All right, bringing home, what's our final step?
This is the last mile, the most important one. Step 4 is building supply lines.
Distribution.
Yes, but it's about more than just logistics. You have to understand how your target customer wants to buy and then meet them there.
So different strokes for different folks. No one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly. You might use detailed specs and white papers to reach engineers, but executives, they might be swayed by a personal introduction at a conference, you know?
Right, it's about speaking their language, building relationship.
Absolutely. Make it easy for them to say yes.
So we've chosen our beachhead, prepped our product, staked our claim, built our supply lines. We're across the chasm. Now what?
That's when the real work starts. You've got to shift from being a company of pioneers to a company of settlers.
Ooh, interesting. What does that mean exactly?
Well, the pioneers, they're the ones who got you this far. The risk takers, the innovators.
Oh, they thrived in that early market chaos.
Exactly. But to really thrive on the other side of the chasm, you need settlers, people who are all about building a strong, stable business.
Pioneers, settlers.
Yeah.
I like that. So it's not just about the product. It's about the whole company transforming.
Exactly. Mindset, leadership, structure, it all needs to evolve.
Okay, so walk me through that. What are the big shifts we need to make once we're on the other side of the chasm?
All right, let's start with the money. Early on, you're probably relying on venture capital, right?
High risk, high reward.
Right, all about proving the concept. But once you cross the chasm, the game changes. You need to shift from that venture capital roller coaster to something more stable, more sustainable.
Sustainable profits.
Exactly. No more relying on those hockey stick forecasts.
Those always felt a little optimistic.
Yeah, those might work in the early stages when you're full of hope and dreams, but in the mainstream market, you need a real solid financial foundation, consistent revenue.
A business that can actually stand on its own 2 feet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that leads us to the second big shift. Personnel.
The team.
Yeah, because the team that got you to the chasm, they might not be the same team that can take you all the way.
Because the pioneers, they're amazing at pushing boundaries, but maybe not so much at running a well-oiled machine.
You got it. And that's where your settlers come in, right? They're the ones who can build those processes, handle the scaling, all that good stuff.
So you're saying as a company grows, the type of leadership needs to change too.
It's natural. Think about it. Some of those pioneers might be ready to move on to the next big thing.
Makes sense.
And that's fine. Let them go conquer new territory, and you bring in the people who can take what they built and make it even stronger.
Passing the torch.
Exactly. And then the last big shift is in R&D.
Research and development.
So instead of chasing the next breakthrough, it's time to refine what you already have.
Make it bulletproof, scalable.
Exactly. You've got a winner. Now it's time to make it work for the masses.
Wow, this has been eye-opening. You've given us a lot to think about.
Get a whole new perspective, right?
Totally. So, to wrap things up, if our listeners take away one thing from this deep dive into crossing the chasm, what would you want it to be?
That's a good question. I think the biggest takeaway is that it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. Moore gives you this amazing framework, but you have to be willing to adapt it to your specific product, your market.
It's about understanding those core principles, but then having the flexibility to apply them in a way that makes sense for you.
Exactly. And that brings us to a final thought I'll leave you with. We've been talking about businesses here, but what about individuals?
Ooh, I like where you're going with this.
Could these same ideas apply to, say, someone who wants to launch a passion project?
That's a great question. Could understanding the chasm, the whole technology adoption life cycle, could that help someone get their own big idea out into the world?
It's something to consider, right? Maybe the key to success, whether you're a tech giant or just starting out, is understanding how the market works, how people adopt new ideas, and then using that knowledge to your advantage.
I love that. Food for thought, folks. Well, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. This has been fantastic.
My pleasure. Always happy to be here.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on another deep dive. Keep those brains buzzing, and we'll catch you on the next one.
The Marketing Execution Podcast is produced by Growth Stage Marketing. We are on a mission to see your company reach wild success using marketing pods.
Too big, accept dreams. Catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Thank you for listening and being a part of the marketing execution movement and community. To learn how growth stage marketing clients reach more buyers and drive business impact, go to growthstage.marketing. That's growthstage.marketing.